Okay, thank you everybody. Thank you for coming. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you in the room. And thank you to Kachum for hosting us and to Kronos Group for providing support as well. This is a part of a community, so it is very much of a collaborative effort. I'm going to stand up here and say a few words, and then I'm going to invite all of you to participate in this community in person and online if you have not already registered for our mailing lists. So I'm Perey. I am a consultant. I've been working in digital media since 1991. And as I said yesterday when I started, yesterday I was making a presentation and the Windows machine I was using crashed in the second slide. And I said, no problem, and I just kept talking. And I told a story about when I started in digital media, multimedia meant multiple trips to the stage. And they were not small devices. They weren't smartphones. So it's a pleasure to just be able to use our smartphones when and where we can and our laptops much more often. So I'm going to start with a few remarks about what I'm seeing as a consultant in the augmented reality world. And I'm going to then get into what the details of this meeting are. Last time when we got together in November at ISMAR in Atlanta, I said, gee, I'll give you a little bit of a summary about augmented reality and the state of augmented reality. Where are we today? So, well, we seem to burst through a wall. A lot of people now know about augmented reality. We don't have to spend quite as long explaining what it is. But what exactly is it? And who cares? And it was a little foggy. It still is, but I really felt like we were in an uncertain certain place, maybe a patch of ice, to use an analogy. Or okay, so it was unclear, but I think I'm seeing a burst of light, and this isn't like Christ or anything. I'm not a religious person, but I think that there is light shining through this hole. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why I think that is very promising and what we should be thinking about as we go over the next 6 to 12 months. One reason is Google Glass. And my goodness, what a lot of media coverage this topic is getting. And it doesn't matter how many times we say it's not augmented reality. The word augmented reality continues to appear in the headlines and in the body of the text, and, well, we'll take it. Let's not argue. Philosophically, it could be argued, but they're not the only companies. Metaio is appearing in the news with its new hardware. There are other companies that have household names like Canon, Apple, some other companies that are starting to come up on our radars being associated with these headlines. So every January I attend a hot air balloon festival in Switzerland. It's beautiful. And I thought this was good. See, what happens is the balloons fill up in the field and they just wait until more balloons fill. And by definition, they're filling with hot air, right? So the analogy is pretty good. A lot of promises, a lot of expectations, and I think we've got to take this carefully. So can we back it up? Is there data? Is there a trend here? What can we say about the number of downloads, the number of people who are using augmented reality on a daily basis or even once? What are the trends that we can kind of measure. So there are a lot, but many require the participation of the platforms who provide augmented reality to have quantitative information. And at least personally, I don't have that level of cooperation with the platforms that could provide us with hard facts. But what I can tell you is what I observed is this. Over a 5-week period of time, I have one of these web-based news tracker, and I just look for it looks for mobile augmented reality headlines and articles for me. And over the last 5 weeks, I typed in actually how many headlines and how many hits there were. And probably if I used a different filter, I'd get a different piece of information. But I'm asking you, is there a trend here? Certainly, this is Mobile World Congress, right? So let's hope that after Mobile World Congress and this week, there continue to be a lot of attention poured on and announcements about augmented reality. I certainly hope some of these companies, there's Google, of course. It's just, it's like Google, but yeah, now there's going to be others that are recognizable. Metaio, as I said, Canon, Vuzix, if you haven't heard of this company, does a competitor to the Project Glass device. Yesterday at the Mobile Geospatial AR event, we saw somebody had a piece of eyewear and was demonstrating it for us. Layers in the news, Wikitudes in the news. Let's see. It's too early to tell. I think the balloons are still on the ground. They're filling with air. And certainly to me, at least, it feels like a very positive time. We're about to take off. So I'm not expecting you to read it. I'll tell you what happened yesterday. This was yesterday. Somebody posted on eBay, that Google's going to give away 8,000 pairs of this. They're not going to give them away. They're going to permit 8,000 people to pay $1,500 to buy a pair of eyewear. And somebody put their future pair of Google Project Glass on eBay, and the auctioning kept going. It was up at $15,000 before eBay pulled the listing. The product doesn't even exist yet. The person doesn't own it. It's speculation. I think it is more than hype. I think that there are, I've read in the last 2 weeks about companies getting investment in an Israeli visual search image matching company. I read a AR software platform company got $1 million or so. Was it some Eastern European company that's been at this a while. I see more and more job listings. So there's a lot of opportunity for people who would like to work in augmented reality. Metaio's looking to hire. I don't know about other companies, but there definitely are more opportunities these days, more startups, and it's not just engineers. One of the other promising evolutions is I'm starting to hear more and more companies, especially developers, who are coming into augmented reality from another field, an engineering field or maybe marketing or something. They're saying, okay, this is important. Now I want to take the skills and the professional networks that I have in this other domain, construction, publishing, somewhere, and I want to use those contacts in that professional network to bring them up to speed to the potential of augmented reality. There's more and more focus on vertical market issues. I think that's really, really, really valuable. More easy to use tools, web interfaces, and things that are more automated than ever before, so that the barrier to get into doing augmented reality experiences, to developing experiences, is going down. And yes, I was speaking with someone, a company that has been driving and encouraging standalone applications to be created using augmented reality. He said, oh yeah, we're seeing, I don't know how many he said. It was in the thousands of mobile AR applications. And I said, personally, I don't want that. So I'm sharing with you my opinion, but I want more experiences, more augmented reality experiences, more places, more things, more people in the physical world that are enabled and that are lighting up. But I don't think having a dedicated application that recognizes a logo, spins around, and brings me a coupon is where I want to go. It's not what I hope you guys are going to be preparing. It's not what my vision of augmented reality is. So for me, thousands or tens of thousands of apps that do one thing that's the dark hole. Please, let's not go encourage that. What we want to do is create systems where the content is enabled, the world is enabled, and we can use, the customer has the choice. They're not being siloed into a particular brand. And that's when we got to all take off. When we have open and interoperable augmented reality, that's when the balloons launch and fly off and hopefully, be very successful. Those are my remarks and sort of my introduction about what I'm seeing, what I'm hoping for 2013. And I hope you'll share those ideas with the people that you speak with and help us to make it successful, help us to achieve those visions.